Okay guys, welcome back to Pray Shop Cruise. My name is Itiri. I'm going to give you a review of my thoughts on Margaritaville Resort out here in Jacksonville Beach. I will be leaving tomorrow, and I am going to put some clips up of me walking around the hotel and me walking around my room, and just whatever clips I had as I was filming out here. And I'm just going to talk about all my thoughts. I made myself some notes and a list of things I wanted to cover. The clips are not going to match what I'm talking about. I'm not in the mood to match that up. So it'll be random clips as I'm talking. So let's jump right in. So the first thing I want to address is the $100 night hold, $100 per night hold that they do out here. So, you know, most hotels hold some type of a fee for incidentals until you leave. Margaritaville Resort holds $100 per night for a hold. I think that's a little excessive. So I stayed here 3 nights. It was a $300 hold. I had already paid for my stay, but I had to provide a card for the $300 hold incidentals. So I think that's excessive. That's one of the most excessive holds I've seen, even for a resort, and I think it's unnecessary. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is the mandatory valet, which I knew about, but there are different prices depending on what kind of car you have. I do have an SUV, so my valet price was $32 per night. If you do not use mandatory valet, you have to find parking on the street, and y'all, it's off season, but it is packed out here and it's crowded. I can only imagine what summer is going to be like in this particular area. When I come and stay at Jacksonville, usually I'm in a hotel outside of this like inner city, inner beach town area. I think this is my first time staying like on this particular side and on the beach, and it has just been, it's very, very crowded. And I'm here in February, I think. This won't post until a couple of months after this. So I'm here in February and it's like this. So imagine peak season out here, okay? So I wouldn't want to find parking on the street. Go ahead and plan to do the mandatory valet. If you're an SUV like me, you have to pay $32 per night. And then I think a regular car is like $27. They do give you wristband keys. I do have on a wristband key. I do like this. This reminds me of how Virgin Voyages does their room keys on the ships. I do like this because I kept it on. Now, as a solo traveler, I am here as a single solo traveler. I would cover my wrist or take it off if I was going out, so no one would know, you know, where I was staying. So just keep that in mind if you're a single woman by yourself or a single person by yourself and you don't want anyone knowing where you're staying. Either take it off when you're in public, or I had on long sleeves for most of this trip because the wind is out here, but it's been beautiful weather. But I kept this covered otherwise. I do like it better than a regular hotel key. I do like it when hotels give you the key on the phone, on your phone as well. So it's a nice touch to open the door, and you can use it for the elevator. So there is a restaurant here on site. It's a beautiful restaurant. The food is fantastic. The food is expensive. I got a fish sandwich. It was the catch of the day, whatever it was, and chips, and I paid like $26 for it. So, you know, you're at a resort, be prepared to pay resort prices. The food was good. They did give me a nice size, you know, helping of it, but as you can see, I went to McDonald's today, okay, because nobody has time for these resort prices, okay, every night. Now, there are some resorts where I've gone and I've eaten at the restaurant every single night. My first diamond painting at the beach trip, I ate at that restaurant every single night. It was delicious, and the food was not as pricey as this, maybe just a tad bit cheaper, but I did eat at that one because I didn't want to leave the hotel. I love resorts with restaurants on site so that I don't have to leave. You can also DoorDash, of course, and Uber Eats if you don't want to leave. So, but that can get expensive as well. So just be prepared to have money to eat and enjoy yourself. Now, my room is a partial ocean view, and I can see the ocean really well. My issue is I can also see the restaurant across the street from me. I can see other people on their balconies. So if you've stayed at a full-on balcony suite over here at the Margaritaville Resort, let me know, because was your view better? It just seems like everybody, like all the way around, kind of has a view of each other, and it's not private. So I would definitely not recommend this particular room because of the view that it's looking at. I'm in room 548. So if they assign you room 548, just know that you're not going to have a sit out balcony. It's just a look out balcony. And you are looking right at the restaurant, and you can see the people beside you. Okay. Now the room outside of the view is just gorgeous. This room is clean. It was spotless. The bathroom's clean. Everything's updated. I did have some problem with the hot water in the sink, like the turning the knob. I did not like that. I didn't report it because I'm like, I'm not gonna be here forever, so I just dealt with it. But the hot water in the shower is really good. It does take a while for the shower to warm up, so keep that in mind. The hotel is very clean. Everything has just been very clean. The staff has been very nice. The valet staff is really awesome. You know, they go as quick as they can and to get you in and out. And the front desk people have been great. So the service and the cleanliness is a 10 out of 10 for sure. I do love that this hotel, this resort is right on the beach. So you step out through the valet and you walk around just a tad, and you can take the bridge, you know, walk across the bridge to the sand, and it's perfect right on the beach. You should bring your own beach chairs or, you know, beach mat if you want to sit out there. I didn't sit out there long. I did do some walking around in the morning time when it was less crowded, and it's just gorgeous watching that sunrise out here. So you are in a prime location. It's just, depending on where your room is, you're not gonna have privacy if you go out on the balcony, which I'm not a fan of that. Not only is this hotel right on the beach, but it's also close to all my favorite stores. All of them. This was a dangerous game that I played. This was a dangerous place to stay. Hold on. Y'all. Feel like I wanted to cough. Hold on. I don't know why I cough when I get on these videos. Like, I don't cough all day, and the moment I record, I have to cough. So they're close to Michael's, Hobby Lobby, TJ Maxx, Marshall's, Ross. The Ross is the cleanest, most organized Ross I've ever seen in my lifetime of 30-something years living. I've never seen a Ross this clean, and they had amazing selections in that Ross, and they had some amazing selections for purses, which I did dabble in. I did make some purchases. I shouldn't have made the purchases, but I made some purchases. Every single store that I've been to in this area has been very clean, very organized. You can see people with gloves on walking the aisles. There was an older woman with gloves on walking the aisles of Ross, tidying up the aisles. Like, and Jack's also doesn't play about their beaches. You will see people walking the beaches, cleaning their beaches. So I have just had a very clean and spotless experience here, and every store I went to. I even went to an Ollie's down here, which was about 20-something minutes away. I had to see. I just had to know. And of course, I did more shopping because they had an amazing selection of items, and their Ollie's was neat. And y'all, I went into the Ollie's bathrooms because I had to know. I had to see for myself, and I had to pee. But I went into the Ollie's bathrooms, and they were clean. So somebody is taking care of business across the state here. Somebody has put the foot down on y'all gonna be clean and y'all gonna be neat in this area. So maybe it's just my experience here this weekend, this 3-day, you know, weekend. It's actually a 4-day, 3-night weekend. But I have just been very impressed, and I have loved shopping at all of these stores, and I should never return here because it is dangerous for my pockets. Loved it. I did sort of mention this already, but it is crowded even in off season. So if you're coming down to Jacksonville, Florida, just be prepared to fight a little traffic here and there, depending on what time you're going out. The outside pool was open. A lot of hotels and resorts sometimes don't have the pool open during springtime. They don't open it till like April or May. The outside pool here is open. I did not see a jacuzzi. I did not see an inside pool. So I think it's just an outside pool. And the outside pool is right next to the valet. It is small. So if you're gonna go and swim and sit out there, it's very small. Everybody will be looking at you from like off the street too. Like, so it's not a pool that would be like romantic to be in. You know, it's not one of those types of vibes now. I would recommend the rooms for like a romantic getaway if you have a boo thing, but the overall like essence of the place is not a sneak away type of a getaway romance type of a place vibe, because you just, everybody looking at you. You don't come here to hide if that's what you're trying to do. I didn't see jacuzzi. I said that there has been very stunning artwork throughout the hotel. In the hallways, in the room, there's stunning artwork behind me. You can see that, the paintings and things. This stuff is everywhere. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's beach vibes, it's tropical vibes, it's Margaritaville, you know, vibes. It gives me, the layout of this kind of hotel gives me the ship vibes, even though I'm pretty sure the resort probably came before his ship, Jimmy Buffett, the owner of Margaritaville. But it gave me ship vibes, I guess because I'm a cruiser. So like I got tropical ship vibes walking around on this hotel, even though I do think his resorts came before his ships. I did want to also mention that the lobby had great ocean views. So if you're in a room like mine that does not have good ocean views, if you go and sit out at in the lobby, you can look out and just see the ocean and just sit there. He has swings out there and nice chairs, and it's a lot of seating, and it felt like the cruise ship to me. When I walked into that lobby, I was like, yeah. And then there's the big flip-flop in the middle. And see, I saw the cruise ship before I saw the resort, so that's why I'm comparing it to the cruise ship. And I have not been on the Margaritaville at Sea cruise ship. I just watch all of my favorite cruisers have discussed that, you know, ship and all the issues with that. You can Google it and see all the mayhem with those ships. But the newer one I think is pretty good. But I'm comparing it to the ship because the ship is what I saw first before I stayed at a resort. I do plan to cruise on that ship one day, just to say I did it, even though it's like the worst ship at sea compared to everybody else. But beautiful. The views in the lobby are absolutely stunning. I do like that there is a coffee shop. There's a coffee shop and there's a gift shop on site. So if you wanted some cool keychains and shirts and stuff, I have some clips walking around there. I don't know at what point of the video you saw the clips, but you will have seen me show clips of the gift shop and the coffee shop. The coffee shop does have small bites to eat, like salads and small sandwiches. But I did not, when I checked in, I actually wanted one of the salads, but they were all out of the salads. So I didn't actually get any food or coffee from the coffee shop while I've been here. But yeah, I do love that there was a separate coffee shop and a separate gift shop. And that really reminded me of the cruise too, how the cruise is set up with the lobby and then the coffee shops and gift shops and restaurants lined up. So I definitely felt the cruise vibes while I was here, looking out at the ocean. I just loved it. I've had a blast. I didn't really sit out and, you know, look out at the ocean, but I've been like out of my room a lot this particular trip, and I've truly enjoyed it. This room is fantastic. It's very large. The decor is very beautiful. You know, you'll be at peace staying here. There was some noise. You can hear some things through the walls, but it's not horrible. It's not the worst. And I think you would really enjoy your stay here. I don't plan to come and stay here again, actually, just because I'm not a fan of the location, and the GPS even like would not lead me down the right turn to get to the actual hotel. The GPS leads you to a different street from where this hotel is actually on. Like, it's the same street, but it leads you to a different like spot. It was confusing trying to actually find it on the strip. There's nothing wrong with this resort, but I would not stay at it again just because I did not like the view. I may be tempted to book a full-on ocean view, but again, I also didn't like the $100 hold per night, so I think that's a little excessive, and I don't think this resort merits that. It's a nice resort, but it doesn't merit $100 a night. It just doesn't. The quality is great, but not for $100 a night. So I wouldn't stay here again for those reasons, but not because it wasn't beautiful and clean and great service. It was all those things. It just, I know I can find better, and I've had better. Like my last beach trip was like super secluded, and the views were great, and the room was great. The room was not as good as this room, but the price was better. It was just some better things. So like, I know I can find better to satisfy what I want with around the same price range. So I probably wouldn't choose this one again. Going forward, if I come back to this area of Jacksonville, I will make sure that I have a full-on like ocean view balcony, and I'll make sure that it says balcony because I don't want to run into these problems of like the views looking at everyone again. So that's my overall review of the hotel. Let me know if you've stayed here, if you plan to stay here. I do think it's wonderful for families. It is in a great location. Just book a full ocean view room with a balcony if you don't want, you know, viewing problems. But if you're not planning to stay in the room a lot, then it doesn't really matter what you book. It's a very clean hotel, so, you know, the cleanliness is top tier, and I care about that a lot. And I know a lot of people, that's a major thing for most people, so. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you made it to the end of the video, go ahead and put some palm trees in the comments. Put some palm trees in the comments if you made it to the end of the video. And I think that's all I wanted to say. I'll see you real soon. I'll catch you next time when I'm crafting by the sea, at the beach, or wherever I'm crafting. And I love you guys. Bye.